Hello and welcome back to Creator Calls. Today we have a real gem from the gardening space in YouTube, Gem in the Garden. I'm really excited for this one because I've recently been trying to grow some veg myself, and that's actually how I found Gemma's channel. Gemma's first video is on over 30,000 views and it looks like she's going to hit 5,000 subscribers any day now. What an achievement that would be. Gemma, welcome to the channel.
Hello, thank you for having me on.
No, thanks for making the time for coming on. So for anyone that hasn't seen your channel before, how would you describe it? Like, what would people find when they first click onto your channel?
So when you first click onto my channel, it is clear that it's a gardening channel because all of the videos and all of the posts and all of the shorts are mostly about gardening. There's the odd thing on there that might be about a bit of wildlife, but it is all around a garden. It's all around my allotment. It's all around what I'm planting, how I'm managing my allotment and my growing space.
So is it going as well as you hoped it would go now that you're nearly a year in?
It is going really, really well. I'm not sure. I'm not really, how do I say it? So I don't really know what to put myself up against, if that makes sense. I'm basically challenging myself up against myself. So I'm just trying to grow my channel and looking at where I was, a month ago or how well my last video did. I'm not really sort of comparing myself to any other channels because I think there's a place for everyone on YouTube. So myself personally, I think that my videos are increasing, so the views are increasing each time I put a video out. I'm getting more subscribers. So me personally, I think that I'm really pleased with how it's going.
Yeah, if my channel was doing that well, I'd be really pleased with it. I've got to ask about that first video though. As far as the first video goes, it doesn't get much better than that. Did you do any planning going into that first video, or was it just off the cuff, you pull out the camera and start filming?
That's exactly what it was. So I didn't really know about YouTube videos. I didn't know about having a channel, which is probably a good thing. I just literally got the keys for my allotment, took my GoPro down there and just started filming. So some of the shots aren't as good as what I would do now, because now of doing YouTube videos for a while now, and you learn different things of how to make sure that viewers can see what you're doing, and I have a bit of music in there now for when I'm sort of like digging or doing something, but at the time I didn't have any of that, so it was literally just me with a camera just showing what we were doing.
Do you ever go back and watch any of the old videos?
I do sometimes, especially if I'm doing something similar and I think, oh, what did I do that time? It is sort of like a diary for myself as well, because especially in gardening and when you're growing vegetables and growing things, it's really good to look back at what you've done and what went well and what didn't go well and how you would do things differently. So actually, it's a really good diary for a gardener to have on a channel, because you can just go back at like this time last year and think, what was I doing?
Yeah, I hate going back and looking at my old videos, but you kind of need to do it to see how far you've come. Yeah. If you're not cringing at your old videos, then you're not making enough progress.
Exactly.
Were you nervous about putting yourself online then, or putting yourself on camera?
I think I was, and I was a bit nervous. I think when I first started, the first sort of I don't know, probably maybe 10 videos, I didn't really know what to say. I didn't know, I didn't really get, the vlog style. So a vlog style is basically, now I know, it's basically just as if you're speaking to like a friend and you're just telling them what you're doing and basically telling your story of what you're doing throughout that video. Whereas some of my older ones, I'm probably a bit, I would say scripted, but it wasn't scripted, but I was definitely thinking in my head, right, how am I going to say what I'm doing? Whereas really I should have just said what I was doing. Yeah. But I think I was just thinking so much into how will this come across? Whereas actually, if you're just yourself and you just talk and, say what you're doing, that's all you need.
Yeah, I feel like if you plan it too much, you start to fluff your lines and you start to stress yourself out, and it doesn't need to be that stressful. Like you say, it's better off if you treat it if you're just talking to a friend.
Yeah.
And then it helps to build that connection as well with the people watching. Your channel's actually positioned really nicely because your first video is the first day on the allotment.
It
So
is.
like new subscribers can start the journey right from the beginning and like follow along like they've been there the whole time. I did notice a few weeks back that you did a live stream from your greenhouse as well with a cup of tea. Is that something that you're planning on doing more of?
I think so. I think it was actually really good. It was so good to be able to just chat to my viewers, my subscribers. And I think at the time, I think I had about, I think it was about 30 subscribers sort of coming on and off and just saying, oh, hello, I'm on my lunch break, or how's it going? Just asking questions, and like everyone was chatting amongst themselves. It was just really nice. And then the videos got, I think it's under 1,000 views, but a lot of subscribers have actually watched that video, and it was quite popular. So I think I would definitely do it again. I don't think I would ever do a more formal live, because that's not really my style. But I think I would definitely do more of like the informal ones like that, you know, just having a cup of tea in your greenhouse, just chatting to your subscribers. I think that was really fun.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. It was really engaging as well. So when I was watching it, I was trying to get involved in the chat. I was like, oh no, this is a replay. So yeah, it was really good. Did you enjoy doing it? Because it is quite a big jump, isn't it, from filming a video to going live? That's like, it takes quite a bit of nerves to do it.
I was sort of thinking, is anyone going to join this? You know, like, is it a bad time? But I think sometimes the more you worry about it, the more stressful it is, and then you don't have fun. And I think even if you've got one person chatting to you, watching, then, you know, you're still engaging with your audience. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, now I can't talk to a gardening creator without asking this, because I see it all the time. All gardening creators seem to know loads of other gardening creators. How does that happen?
There is quite a community, especially in the allotment gardening. So there's a channel called Grow Up, the Grow Up channel, which is Danny, who's based in Wales, and he is the head of our little community, if you will. Like, he's always reaching out to people, and, you know, he's one of those people that does sort of, you know, get everyone together. But that goes off and on into videos, and then you just end up commenting on people's videos, and then they comment on yours, and you just get to know people that way. I think because you're all doing the same thing, you're gardening or you've got an allotment, you're going through those same sort of challenges, and you're filming it. So you're going through the same sort of thing. So I think there's just that connection there. And then we're really lucky we have got people that are sort of, you know, take that on board and sort of like organise different lives to go on. So I do go on a few like gardening lives, and that's really popular, but that is more of a formal style, like I say, which I don't think I do myself, but I do enjoy going on other creators. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of the Grow Up lives. They're really funny.
Yeah.
And I guess what you might know this. Why is everyone seem to be so? Gardeners seem to gift each other a lot of stuff on YouTube as well. Like, you might give someone something and someone might gift you something. Why is it always courgettes?
That is a good question. So courgettes are one of those crops that are really exciting, because that's like your first sort of crop you get. But then what happens is you get absolutely loads of them, and you don't know what to do with them. And every time you go down to the allotment, there's another courgette, and you're thinking, I don't know what to do with this. And as the weather gets hotter and hotter, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. So you've just got these absolutely huge crops of courgettes, and that's why it's like a blessing, and it's also a curse, because sometimes, like, I've been down to my allotment and I've thought, okay, like, oh, there's something in my polytunnel, and there's a big box of courgettes that someone's left as a gift, you know. But yeah, it is always the courgettes.
Too good to throw away, so
Yeah.
we'll just gift them to someone. Now, the second part of this podcast I've been calling Ask 10 is where we dive a little bit deeper into your relationship with YouTube, with 10 YouTube specific questions. So there's probably going to be more than 10, so don't count them. Out of creating a thumbnail, writing a title, or filming, which do you spend the most time on?
Filming, definitely filming.
How long does it take to film a Gem in the Garden video?
It's usually however long I'm at the plot, which I know that's a bit of a how long is this piece of string answer, but it can be anything from a whole morning to a whole day. And sometimes it's not, sometimes it's over a whole week. So if it's like a big project, I might spend the whole week, filming, and then it gets edited down to like, 20 minutes or something, but it might just taken, a few hours a day for a whole week. So yeah, it does take a long time to film.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that takes so long, he said. So how often do you check YouTube Studio?
Every day. I check it every
Once a
day
day.
because I like to reply to any comments. So, because I've got quite a big backlog of videos now as well, I do get a lot of comments still on some of my older videos. So what I try and do is go on every night and just make sure there's no one that hasn't not been replied to. So every night I go on and check my comments, but then I might go on in the day and think, if like I put a video out this morning, for example, so I've been on a couple of times today to sort of see how it's doing. But really, that's only if I've just put a video on, I'll check that. It actually means so much when someone comments, and it is, you do build up a real relationship with, your viewers and your audience. It's really, I love that part of it. I love the messages. Yeah.
And some people put so much time into like the comments as well. You can get paragraphs and paragraphs sometimes. And I think if someone spent that much time leaving a comment, you've got to read it and like reply to it and put as much effort as they have, because it definitely builds a community as well. This is one of my favourite questions, actually. So if your channel got deleted and you had to start again, but you had to pick a different niche, what would you be making? So you couldn't do gardening anymore. Kind of gives us an insight of the kind of stuff you like to watch.
Oh my goodness, that is a really good question. It would either be, it can't be gardening, something. So maybe cooking, because I've got an allotment, so we do a lot of cooking with the vegetables. So it could be something like that.
That's a nice link, that is, with the veg.
That is a really good question, though, because I don't know. Something, it probably would be something like that. It would be something like cooking or...
I like the travel niche, but I feel like you need a lot of money to be in the travel niche. You need to
actually go to a lot of places, don't you, I think, as well. You'd need to be constantly, I think that would be lovely, but I don't think it's something I could achieve. But something like that, or maybe another thing would be, I've got a young family, so I could definitely like vlog some family things, sort of like, sometimes, for example, I don't know, it could be something like I'll search on YouTube for things to do with my children to find the answers to things. So I think something like that, maybe.
Yeah, there's a really good one of them. I think it's called At Home with the Buckleys, something like that. And it's the guy who was on In-Betweeners, who used to play Jay from the In-Betweeners.
Oh, okay.
He's got a family vlog now on YouTube, and it's really good.
Yeah, I do like those ones, because you do learn a lot from them, and you sort of see, different perspectives of things. So yeah, it could be something like that as well. But yeah, either cooking or a family sort of thing, I would have thought.
Have you ever been recognised from the work that you've done on YouTube? I'd probably say outside of the gardening scene. Say like maybe when you've been walking around a garden centre or something like that.
I actually got recognised when I went to Cornwall. So I was in a craft market right by where we were staying, and I was buying something from a store and said, I just really recognise you. I really recognise you. And it did take them a while, and then they were like, I know where I recognise you from. But I think it was like me just walking around a craft market in Cornwall. They were like, where? They said, are you local? I said, no, I'm not local. It took them a while. But yeah, I have been recognised. But that's the only time I've actually been recognised, like outside of somewhere.
That's really cool, that is. I haven't been recognised yet. Maybe one day. So one of the other videos that I've done on this channel, I actually recognised them in their local shop, and I thought, I'll drop them a message, see if they want to come on. And now we've been out for a beer and stuff now, so like making YouTube friends.
That's so nice. I have actually got one sort of the other way around. Someone that my mum used to babysit for, and I used to go to school with, recognised me he was like looking at allotments and recognised me and then emailed me and said, "Oh, hi, like, you know, your mum used to babysit me." So I've had it the other way round as well. Like someone I know has found me on YouTube. So yeah, I've had it sort of both ways.
So how long ago was it when you uploaded your first video? Was this the first channel that you've tried?
This is the first channel that I've tried, yes. So I've had YouTube for a really long time, and I think when I signed up, I must have set it up as a channel, but I didn't know that. And then when I uploaded, I think the first video was May 2022.
Closing up on a year now then.
Nearly 2 years. It's nearly 2 years.
Who convinced you to start a channel? Was that completely off your own back, or was there somebody there going, "Go on, you should get involved"?
Well, we used to live in a flat in central London, and when we moved to our house outside London, we had a garden. So I started looking on YouTube, because that's where you look, you know, like, what do I do about this? And then I started getting into gardening. And then when I got an allotment, when I put my name on the waiting list, should I say, the first thing I was doing was going on YouTube and looking. And then when I actually got one, I thought, well, that's what I looked for. You know, I might as well film it and, you know, put it on YouTube. And my husband was like, "Yeah, I think you could do this," you know. So he was definitely like cheerleading, saying, you know, "You can do this." But I didn't know anything about having a channel or what it entailed. So it's been a learning curve, but it's been a good learning curve. But I'm glad I did do it. I'm glad I started it.
No, I feel like getting over that first hurdle of getting your first video out, it takes away a lot of the stress, and you quickly get used to talking to a camera, and you quickly get used to editing the sound of your own voice. And it's just like really freeing as well. You think, "Oh, I've got this whole new skill now that I've picked up." So what advice would Gemma today give to Gemma from, let's say, 2 years ago?
I think advice I would give would be probably be more natural, just be yourself. Like I was saying earlier, just talk to the camera as if it was a friend, because I think that was something I really didn't do when I first started. And there's a couple of videos where I've done things and it is not natural at all. And when I look back, I think, oh my goodness, you know, I was so nervous doing that, when actually there was nothing to be nervous about.
Yeah, I feel like I sometimes tried to shoehorn jokes into videos, and I'd watch them back and I'd just be like, "Oh my God, why did I try and do that?" And cut all of it out. So you've already touched on it a little bit then, but why did you start the YouTube channel? What was the reason behind it?
I think it was just, like I said, I just thought, well, that's what I've been watching, so I can do it. But another reason is I used to work in a bank. I was a bank manager. And when I had a family, I've now got a young family, but I didn't want to go back to that sort of professional sort of job. It just didn't feel right having a young family for myself and sort of doing a job like that. So I wanted to do something different, and I know that you can, you know, have a career on YouTube. I know you can do that. I know you've got to work at it to do it. It doesn't just come after, you know, uploading your first video. But I thought that's something that I could, you know, build up while the children are young. I can work around it while they're still young, and you know, one of them's just at school and one of them's in nursery. So it's quite flexible because I can do it as and when. So it sort of worked that way as well, because I thought it brings out more of a creative side to me, which is what I prefer to sort of like being in an office environment.
Yeah, I feel like I get into a bit of a rut now. If I don't, let's say, flex the creative muscles, if I don't do it for a week, I feel like I need to make something.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a tough question then. So what would you rate your videos out of 10?
What would I rate them out of 10? I would say 7 out of 10.
What do you think would be the next step to take it up to an 8 out of 10?
I think that I'm still not filming as like sleekly as I could do. So there's still quite a lot of editing that needs to be done with my videos. And I think I could really, if I could get that, because it's quite a long time that I'm filming for. So I just need to get that sweet spot into not filming absolutely everything and having to edit. And sometimes I think I look back at a video and I think I didn't really need that bit in there. So I think it's just getting that sweet spot of what the audience wants to see, and am I just filling a video? It's that sort of thing. I need to get that sweet spot.
Yeah, being a bit more selective about your shots and stuff as well. Yeah, I feel like gardening YouTube is a little bit different than your typical areas of YouTube, because people are expecting a slower pace as well. They don't want to be hit with bam, 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 like you see on YouTube all the time. So like when I click on a gardening video, I'm sitting back, I'm hoping to relax for a little bit. And if it's too fast, I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll try something else.
Definitely.
Is there anything about being a creator that surprised you or kind of caught you off guard? Anything maybe you think was a lot harder than you were expecting, or something that was a lot easier than you were expecting?
The only thing that I can think of is sometimes you think, I've made such a good video, and then you put it out and it's not as successful as you think, and you think, but that's such a good video. Like I really thought that would be, good. I thought that an audience would want to watch that, and it's not. And then sometimes you put something out and you think, oh, that really wasn't the best, and it does a lot better. So I think that is surprising, because you almost can't second guess if it's going to be successful or not.
Yeah, that really speaks to me, because sometimes I put out a video and I think this is going to be great and YouTube disagrees.
Yeah.
And then it's something. So I recently made a video which I thought, this is absolutely will not go with my channel. And it did really well. It was about something that was super old. It had been out for ages, so it was new to nobody. But for some reason, YouTube decided, you know what, we're going to show this to everybody.
Yeah, you just don't know.
This is the last question then. So, have you set yourself any goals for the next 12 months?
The next 12 months, my only goal really is just to continue growing my channel, and I would like to start doing, so I do more of a vlog style, and I don't really want to go into like the how-to sort of thing, but I wouldn't mind doing, branching off a little bit. So still doing my vlogs, but maybe branching out, still in the same subject area, but just more of like an information style, still very relaxed, like, I want to keep to my style, but maybe things like, 10 things I'm growing this year, or 5 things I wouldn't grow, or, that sort of thing, because I think that's the sort of thing I find really helpful when I'm on YouTube, looking for information. So, but yeah, so that sort of thing, that's sort of a goal, to sort of grow the channel a bit more, go sort of in a different direction, but I still want to carry on doing my vlogs.
Yeah, a creator, what is her name? Is it Jessie at Plot something or other?
Yeah, Jessie at Plot 37, yeah.
Yeah, so she does a really good job of doing, so there's like typical gardening videos, isn't there, which is kind of like April plot tour, December plot tour. Like each month you just do a plot tour, and then what to sow in X, Y, and Z month. And she does them in a really good vlog style, which is really nice and really chilled, really relaxed. But she gets all the information in there, so that could be, yeah, they're like really good ones to go at. But that's it then. I guess I do want to fit one more question in there then. So obviously you're about to touch, is it 5,000 subscribers? If your channel carries on going as it is, when do you think you'd hit that 10,000 subscriber mark?
I don't know. Maybe a year. I don't know. Because some weeks I get a lot more subscribers than others. It sort of goes up and down. But I'd love to do it in another year. I think that would be really exciting.
Yeah, if I had to put my money on it, I would say probably by the end of this year, if you kept posting regularly, because you'll have that compound effect going on. So fingers crossed for you.
Right. I hope you're right.
But thanks, Gemma. I think people are going to find this really insightful, and if they want to get started, this will be a great one for them to watch. I'm going to link your channel down in the description, but is there any projects you want to give a specific shout out to?
I am going to be starting a small kitchen garden area in my garden soon, so you will see that on my channel soon as well.
I'll definitely be watching that, because I need some tips. And before I let you go, is there any other creators in the UK or Ireland that you think I should try and get on?
Definitely Danny at Grow Up. definitely, the Grow Up channel. There's a lot of other creators. I could name a list of as long as your arm for the ones that are really good, but to name but a few, there's Dog on the Plot, so she's got an allotment, and there is, can't think off the top of my head now.
You'll have to drop me a message if you think of any.
I'll drop you a message, yeah, because there is absolutely loads of creators, especially in like our allotment sort of community that that definitely.
No, that's perfect. Thank you very much then. We'll call it there.